Upgrades have been brought to the car here as we arrive at Barcelona, and after the shit start to the season we've had, we need something. Actually, you know what? We're going to give Oscar Piastri... I'm just going to keep on giving him practice ones because it doesn't actually affect us in the long run, if we're being honest. But let's simulate this session. And the car's even went downhill for the start of the season, because at the start of the season it looked like... I mean, look at that, like, we're fucking nowhere near Red Bull, like... So when I say Red Bull, like, I mean, we're dropping out of that. I don't even know who's got the second fastest car. I don't know who's got the second fastest car, but that is exactly, we've kind of went to fucking nowhere to second and third. Where that came from, I don't have a fucking Scooby snack. And practice 3 results, we've got Valtteri Bottas getting in between us and Verstappen, Perez in 5th. But see, because Red Bull had such a gap, Perez has been able to keep relatively close in the championship, but not anymore, like, because once you get cars in between the top, those points will skedaddle. We are currently in the mid-17s. I mean, the Williams I actually feel a bit fucking depressed for how slow they are, and then Mick Schumacher and Van Dorn are like, you know what, don't feel depressed, we're just as pish as them. Perez manages to split us in signs, but does that mean Max Verstappen? He'll obviously go fastest. Gasly splits Perez and Leclerc. You know, I mean, like, it's just a very close grid this year if you take away Red Bull. You know, like, we all know Verstappen here, he's flying around the track, he's just going to go fastest by like 2 times. Yep, predicted it more or less right on the fucking money. Here in Q1, Verstappen leads by 2 times exactly. Now, okay, did he? We didn't even go out, like, so I don't understand how that could have been improved. Perez though. That's Gasly, Sainz, Alonso, Hamilton, Ocon, Russell, Bottas. The usual top 5 cars, with AlphaTauri just behind, then it's McLaren. Q2 results though, again it's the same for top 5 cars. Going through, and who went out? It was Ricciardo, Albon, Norris, Vettel, Kevin Magnussen. As for the rest, he's Verstappen. I mean, look at he's 7 times quicker than his teammate. Like, I don't know where the fuck Red Bull's pulled that from. So we're quite a bit slower than what we did. And Verstappen, noticeably a lot slower there. Fuck me, man. We've used all these soft tyres basically on the fucking Perez. Out of fucking nowhere, it's just clocked in the fastest lap. Gasly gets in there. I mean, you to expect that Verstappen, once he gets a clean run, like, he'll be the quickest dog in the yard, so to speak, as the Ferrari's head out, Leclerc goes out first. It's definitely our strongest track in a while, if we're being honest. Leclerc, what can he do? He goes P2, which is kind of depressing in a way, because, I mean, basically, and Sainz can't improve either, so basically, it's up to the rest of the grid. Perez, Verstappen. Have we took a step forward? I mean, it looks like we've took a step forward, but I don't know, this track could just suit us more than the other ones, so the race will prove if we've took a step forward or not. But yeah, a bit disappointing there. Here we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. Red Bull looking invincible this season. You'll struggle to see Red Bull not win a race this season. Obviously, a rain effect at one, like, but in terms of a dry race, I don't see how Red Bull could fuck it up unless both drivers take each other out. But Ferrari here, Leclerc gets a good start. He's right behind Verstappen, and Perez is right. Well, fuck, Gasly's actually overtook Carlos Sainz, but Leclerc overtakes. Oh, I don't know if he's overtook him. Come on, Charles. He does, or does he? We're going to turn that fucking engine up. We're going to turn Carlos Sainz's up in the overtake mode. Oh, for fuck's sake, we cannot allow Perez to overtake us. But he's on slower. He's on the soft compound. Fuck, worn softs at that. Fucking hell, what's going on here? What is going on here? I'm going to go back down the neutral. No point killing the tyres here. No point whatsoever. But Perez, I mean, he is going to be rapid at the start, but he'll quickly probably warn off after a couple of laps. But it's Verstappen for Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, Alonso, Hamilton, Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, Russell. Then it is Vettel, Magnussen, Albon, Norris, Ricciardo, Van Dorn, Tsunoda, Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Perez overtakes Verstappen. That soft tyre, man, and now But look at, I mean, like the field's not. I mean, they're only 3 laps in, but it's not. There's not a massive fucking, you know, bunch. And I feel like if we can just stick DRS here, that'll do us just rightly. Cars swap them around quite a bit at the front. Look how close it is. I mean, from us down to George Russell, it's 3.5 seconds here. So essentially, we've got a 9-way fight for the victory. I mean, I would call it that. But Leclerc in the DRS range of Max Verstappen, Perez, and everyone's in each other's DRS range. So if we can just sit behind Max Verstappen here on the medium compound and hopefully get DRS here, and we will deploy the whole way down that straight. We'll probably try and do the same with Carlos Sainz, but of course with Verstappen being the only one without DRS, it will be easier to overtake him. As here we go, Charles Leclerc into deploy mode out of the final corner. Surely now with the DRS deployed, he has to get Max Verstappen, and he does. He does get Max Verstappen. We are going to go on attack for the rest of this lap and try and push out of that DRS zone, because that will be crucial. And that's exactly what we've done with Leclerc. We've got out of it and we've now pulled a 2.1 second gap. Verstappen now got Carlos Sainz over him, but Perez fucking thinking about it here. Got all these guys just switching positions. Perez now overtake the Lotus, and Verstappen is now battling side by side with us. Gasly and Hamilton watching in the wings with Ocon and Alonso behind. It's a fucking insane start to this race. But when Perez has to pit, like, he's going to come in a lot of traffic. Alonso is the first of the front runners to pit, and that could be crucial here for Alonso. Perez, you think, would think about pitting, but we've just got Sainz sitting behind Leclerc, and we're holding Max Verstappen up, and these tyres say they can go 48 laps. I mean, how far realistically are these guys going to just drag out this thing? I mean, if Alonso gets past Danny Ricciardo, which you would think he would, quite a decent gap to Albon, that he can just pull pace constantly. Kevin Magnussen is locked up.
That lockup could have cost them dearly.
Not good. Yuki Tsunoda, I think he said he had a time penalty or something. There was a contact. Yuki Tsunoda and somebody. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Haas team can't believe he's flew off the fucking racetrack.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed.
Oh, but there's, oh fucking, as we're, oh, let's see what happened here. We've got Yuki Tsunoda in the Williams. Fucking hell, just smashes straight into the McLaren of Lando Norris. Not good. Not good. As Max Verstappen battling with Carlos Sainz here. Fucking almost overtaking him off the track. What's he doing? Deploy, Carlos. Deploy. Seek and destroy. Deploy. A lot of people pitting. Schumacher's ran wide. Hamilton coming at the pits. Perez coming at the pits. Ocon. Alonso though, he'll be looking to beat a lot of these. Can he beat out Perez? He has beat out Perez, but he can't quite beat out Lewis Hamilton. As you can see, Max Verstappen has pitted, and it's going to be interesting to see where Max comes out. This will define when I pit. I'm praying that the likes of Hamilton and Alonso beat him, but it might happen. It won't happen. Will it? Can it? Will it? Lewis Hamilton fucking getting a beeline down the back straight. And what compound? He's put the mediums on. So Max Verstappen has to pit again. You know what that does for me, guys? That means the Ferraris are staying out. We're going long. We're doing a one-stop. Fuck it. We're doing a one-stopper. That's all I'm saying for that. For the hard compound, he will go straight to the end. And Carlos Sainz is dragged out. He's eked out this medium with his teammate. He will. We'll give Sainz a different strat. We'll give him like 5 laps longer so we can get a bit of advantage towards the end. Not the shaft Leclerc, but we can't just do the same strategy for both of them. It's just not going to work like that. So Leclerc is in. Max goes past. Gasly goes past. Perez doesn't have to stop, which I guess you could say is a worry, but realistically will stop. Alonso, Hamilton, Ocon. Oh, fuck's sake, Charlie. No good. Stuck behind Este Bestie. Not what we want it. Not what we want it. Carlos Sainz, we're gonna put him onto the softs. I mean, it is risky, like, but fuck it. I'm willing to do it for a biscuit.
Good.
Leclerc, of course, locks up and is now overtaken by Esteban Ocon.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
And he's fucking damaged the front wing, man. Honestly. What a fucking dickhead. Charles Leclerc, I'm pretty sure he did it this race last season.
Copy, box.
Pretty sure he fucking did. Let him through. Let him through, Leclerc. I mean, like, in a race where... I mean, Sector 2 is just flashing yellow. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. There's been a massive... I'm looking at Sector 2. I can't actually notice anyone that's, like, in the wall. Gasly had a spin. I just don't know how this race is going to play out now, because we've bottled it with 2 cars. The whole point of going on signs with an alternative strategy was to not have this. But here we are. Shaft it. Few cars in the pits. Sainz takes the lead of this race. Verstappen comes out. Ocon in the pits. Russell in the pits. Hamilton. I mean, Verstappen's going to absolutely annihilate Carlos Sainz, man. And Leclerc, well, he's just, I don't even know what fucking Charles Leclerc's doing at this point, man. You fucked up. You completely fucked it, Leclerc. Fucking potential 1-2, man. The guy fucked it. Gasly and Hamilton catching Carlos Sainz, not many laps to go. I mean, Ferrari are going to go from what looked like a potential 1-2 to not even getting a driver on the podium. Like, come on. Like, seriously though, I mean, it's no good. Going to deploy around the final corner. Come on, Carlos. Just no happening. No happening for the big man. Gasly can't do it. Hamilton can't do it. We're doing it. We're holding on. Well, we were doing it until Carlos Sainz just decided to let Gasly through. Disgraceful, man. That's fucking... It's a joke. Fucking, where's Perez coming from, man? Jesus Christ. Hamilton trying to defend this, but Perez forcing him off, 4 wheels off the track. Hamilton trying to get past Perez, got Carlos Sainz in front of him. It's just no happening. At this point, no, Gasly's laughing because he's guaranteeing himself a podium here. As if we hit deploy, can we get into the DRS before he slips out of it? Nah, Gasly absolutely annihilating us through that final corner. Now Hamilton and Perez will be all over the back of Carlos Sainz. And you see Hamilton, Sainz just fucking... no chance. Verstappen leading on his last lap, going to lead home a Honda 1-2-3 from himself and Gasly as Verstappen rounding the final couple of corners, and it's going to be Max's year in a race for Ferrari, have thrown it away. Truly thrown it away, as Gasly will take the podium position. But look at that, Hamilton's actually got Sergio Perez back. Can Perez somehow get him? I'm not too sure he will be able to, but Leclerc absolutely threw that race away, man. Absolutely threw it away. Sainz will come home in 5th. Alonso almost got him. Ocon behind Alonso. Leclerc behind Ocon. Russell in P9, and then Valtteri Bottas in P10, confirming that it is just the usual top 5 teams in the top 10 positions.